Well, guys, welcome back to another Scrappin' Irish Sunday Night Live. So, bit of a change up on tonight's Sunday Night Live. We will still be putting out the link, but not straight away. Link won't be going out till we do. We're changing it up a bit on the Sunday Night Lives. It's going to be more a little discussion at the start, talking about e-waste or talking about what you guys want to talk about. So, if you have any ideas on what you want to talk about or have anything you want to talk about going forward, email them to me, let me know, and we might be able to bring it up and talk about it here on the live. Sometimes we might have to bring some people up to talk about it. If we will, we will, and if we don't, we don't. But anyhow, first off, welcome in everyone who's come in. Don't forget, guys, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. So if you're watching this video later, hit the thumbs up now. Just go down there underneath the video, thumbs up, hit it. That's all you have to do. So I attempted this last week, but I put the link out and people come up and we got distracted or whatever, and that's fair enough. That was what the show was about, but I'm changing it a little bit. We'll see how it goes, and we'll put the link out and bring people up as normal then afterwards. So welcome in. I'll talk to people as they when they come in later on. For the moment, we're going to get straight into what this video is about, and this video is about the essential stuff you need to do for starting off gold recovery at home. So what's your plan? What are you going to do if you're going to start this gold recovery from at home? This is not a video for some people who don't want to do gold recovery or who are selling their boards to board sort stuff. This is more for people who want to get the gold from stuff like this. So whether it's your mobile phones, little slot cards, hard drives, what else? Boards, your boards. So what are you going to need to recover the gold from them sort of items? So how are you going to get from that mobile phone to a nice piece of gold like that? How are you going to get from there to here, and what you're going to need? So we'll start off with the very first thing you're going to need is material. So whether it's you're going to go after the mobile phones, you're going to go after the computer boards, you're going to go after the RAM sticks, you're going to need a lot of material. So if you're just getting into it, don't even bother thinking about processing small amounts, 10 or 12 phones, whatever. You're going to need a lot of material. So make sure you have loads of phones, loads of computers, loads of whatever you're going to go after. Unless you're practicing, unless you're going to be just doing trial runs and practicing, you're going to waste more asset and time than what the gold value will be on those things. So my advice, if you're thinking about doing this, start collecting now, collecting your material. You could be processing the material. You can be taking the mobile phones apart, breaking them down into their smaller components. So when you're ready to go and process the gold, you have all the material ready, sorted. You have your chips incinerated, whatever you're doing, everything is sorted, ready to go. So that would be my advice. When I started doing this first, I had a lot of material built up, so that when I got into it, I had material to be working with straight away and to be processing. So that's the first tip I can give you, is get a lot of material. If you can build sources. So again, another tip, building sources is networking. Get out there, go to your phone repair shops, go to your computer repair shops, go to businesses that would have a lot of computers, go talk to IT people, that sort of thing. Get to know people who do all that sort of stuff, and then get your name out there and tell them that you'll take this material off their hands, you'll dispose of it properly. You'll make sure if some people won't want to make sure that you can give a certificate of destruction for hard drives. If you're going to be doing that, make sure you do it right. Don't ever sell a hard drive if you've given a certificate of destruction, because that's going to be the one thing that's going to really mess things up for you. So make sure you've done that. That's another tip I can give you about getting out there and getting yourself out there. Facebook Marketplace, a good source for material. Some people will charge to take some material off some people. I do it for free. I don't charge. Again, that's up to you. If you want to charge for disposal of some of the material, whatever, I don't charge. The thing I do is I take it away for free, and that's how I get my material for free. So I have sources from electricians to computer repair guys to just general people know I do this sort of thing. Even subscribers to my channel send me stuff. So I've met up with people who subscribe to my channel, and they've given me old laptops, old computers, old stuff like that. Again, if you're listening now and you're living in the west of Ireland and you have a load of e-waste you want to get rid of, make contact with me. I'll take it off your hands for free. Okay, moving on from there. After you've got your material, before you even start processing your gold, the next thing is your safety gear, guys. So this can't be emphasized. I can't really say enough about this, because this is what's going to save your life when you're doing gold recovery. It's going to save your health. It's going to make sure that you don't get a bad injury, that you don't end up dying, essentially, if you're not doing it right. So respiratory masks, compulsory when dealing with the fumes from the acids. Even these will not 100% filter out all fumes. So the next, what's most important is either do it in a well-ventilated outdoor area, away from kids, away from animals, away from people, stuff like that. Make sure that you're not a danger to anyone else, not just yourself, that you're not going to be doing this in a way that's a danger to anyone else. You have to think of your safety and everyone else's safety around you. So gear, the mask, essential. Fume hood, if you're going to be doing it indoors, essential. It's essential you have the fume hood, and even with a fume hood, you still a mask with something else that you have to go with. Gloves is the next very important thing. So again, different types of gloves for different types of acid. So we just have our normal nitrile gloves. I use that when I'm dealing with copper chlorides or HCl acid and stuff like that. If I'm dealing with nitric acid, I have the rubber type gloves, which are perfect for dealing with nitric acid. You don't want to be handling strong nitric acid with these nitrile gloves, because they can catch fire. So that's something that if you look it up, you'll see where people have shown how they catch fire. So from the nitric acid. So make sure gloves, guys, two very important things. Again, don't be messing with them with acids without your gloves. I also use heat-resistant gloves when I'm handling the beakers, because again, if you're doing an acid, say sulfuric acid, for instance, I'll be using sulfuric acid for certain items, caustic soda or lye, as it's known in other parts of the world. That will give an exothermic reaction, so that means it gives off heat. So if you grab hold of the beaker with with normal gloves or with your hands, you will essentially burn yourself from it. So again, make sure you've got good heat-resistant gloves if you're going to be moving beakers that are hot. Again, you will have beakers on hot plates. You will be generating heat that way, because you'll be heating up some of the chemicals to get a reaction from them. So again, make sure you've got good heat-resistant gloves for when you're handling the hot beakers, hot plates, stuff like that. You don't want to get burns on your hands on it. So once you have that all sorted, then the next thing you're going to need is glassware. So again, glassware, a good glassware that can handle temperature fluctuations, so from hot to cold, cold to hot. So you want to make sure that you have glassware that can handle that. Now this glassware, as you can see, has got foggy over time. So that's where I've been moving stuff around in it, and it's been scratching the glass, but it still works for what I want to do it for. Some of this with the scratches on, you don't want to be doing your gold drops in that, because some of the gold can settle into the scratches and stuff like that. The gold powder make it hard. This is stuff where I'd be where it doesn't matter what I'm doing, it's not going to sit in the scratches. So good glassware that can handle fluctuations of all different sizes of the glassware. So you can see there, this is a 5 litre one. That was a 2 litre one, or was that a 3 litre? That was a 3 litre one. I have 2 litre ones, 1 litres, stuff like that. So we have all the glassware that's needed. When I started doing this first, I didn't use that sort of glassware. I was using makeshift glassware. It was a certain amount of heat resistance, but over time it did crack on me. So then I did invest in proper glassware. So at the beginning I didn't, and now glassware is a lot cheaper. There's a lot more places doing it at cheaper prices, but make sure you're getting the stuff that can handle high temperatures or going very cold, from high to cold very quickly, or from cold to high very quickly. You want to make sure you have that sort of glassware. Then after that, your next step is, of course, is going to be your assets. So I always get asked this about what assets. I can't find assets. I'm not able to get it. It's not available. I go looking for HCl, hydrochloric acid, and no one seems to sell hydrochloric acid. Here in Ireland, especially, you're not going to see the acid branded as hydrochloric acid on your shelf. In America, again, muriatic acid may be branded as muriatic acid. HCl would be branded as muriatic acid, but here in Ireland, it's branded as going to be like a drain cleaner or a brick cleaner or something like that. So, for instance, here in Ireland, this one here, branded as spirits of salt. It is branded for drain cleaning, for brick cleaning, concrete cleaning, toilets, stuff like that. But it is 32% hydrochloric acid, which is perfect. And as you can see from the label, it is very corrosive. But that is what you're going to see it branded as. It mightn't be branded as the spirits of salt. It could be branded as another brand of brick cleaner or another brand of toilet cleaner. So check the back label, have a look for the active ingredient, and if the active ingredient is shown up as hydrochloric acid, it'll give you a percentage. So I've used 10%, I've used 14%, and I've used 32%, and they all work for what I do. So any of them brick cleaners will work. Another acid I use will be sulfuric acid. Again, here in Ireland, branded as just Douglas drain cleaner, instant drain cleaner. Though again, you can get it in for the battery in car shops. You can get it for your car batteries. I just seen a question there coming up on the live stream. I'll come back to that in a second. It's asking about costs of acid and stuff like that. So again, we'd say for this sulfuric acid drain cleaner, I think it was €14 a litre. I only use this for certain things. If I want to make my own nitric acid, you can use it. You're using the sulfuric acid, and I also use the sulfuric acid for when I'm dealing with gold corner VGA chips, where I'm using a technique called wet ashing to get the gold out. So again, a drain cleaner here in Ireland. A lot of people will hear you saying the word lye as a thing. Here in Ireland, branded as caustic soda. Sodium hydroxide is the proper name of the active ingredient. Again, it's sodium hydroxide used to remove in the gold recovery. What we use it for is a lot for removing the green solder off there. If there was gold hidden underneath it, we'll be using that. Used a lot in silver recovery. So if you're doing your silver recovery, you will be using lye or caustic soda, as we know it here. Sodium hydroxide. If you're buying it from a chemical company, you look for sodium hydroxide. That's one of the main acids. The other main acid we use is nitric acid. And again, nitric acid here in Ireland is not readily available off the shelf. So you're not going to walk in and buy nitric acid off the shelf here in Ireland. I got mine from the UK back in the day. I've made some poor man's nitric, it's called. I've done videos on it. Again, there's videos on my channel there, guys. If you want to go check them out, you'll see how I make the poor man's nitric acid. So again, you can make your own nitric acid if you need it. Or you can also use bleach. So bleach is another thing that can be used instead of nitric acid for dissolving the gold flakes. So for instance, if I want to dissolve these gold flakes that's in here, I can use hydrochloric acid and bleach instead of hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. So I can doing that. Again, I have videos up there on the channel if people want to go and check it out. Going back to the cost of the assets. With the cost of the assets and equipment needed to recover the gold, is it worth it? Again, with gold prices being so high, that little piece of gold that I have there is worth today $1,700, more than $1,700. So again, that's, I put it on my baby finger. It's just, you can see it there. So that little piece of gold there is worth $1,700. So that did not cost me anywhere near that to recover with the amount of acid I would have used and the equipment used. Again, once you have the equipment, it's a once-off payment kind of thing, unless you break your glassware and break stuff like that. So it's going to be reused. I'm going to reuse the glassware. The acid is the ongoing expense. So your acid will be your ongoing expense. So again, that's for up to everyone to decide themselves. Depends on what price they pay for their assets and stuff like that. Then there's another acid that is used for, well, not an acid, sorry, another chemical that's used is hydrogen peroxide. So if you're making AP, again, I have videos on how to make all these acids there, or how to make all these, whether it's AP, copper chloride, all that sort of stuff. You can go check them out on the channel. Again, hydrogen peroxide, can buy that here in Ireland in your pharmacies. So that there cost me, that bottle there cost me, I think it was €3. So, and again, I'd only use a little bit of this. You don't need a lot of it for the solution that you're doing. And the other main item you're going to need is something that when you want to drop the gold out, that's fair to use it. Yeah, exactly. A lot of companies won't put like hydrochloric acid on the outside of it. They'll put a name of something else so people don't think it's as dangerous, because people hear hydrochloric acid, they go, oh, that's very dangerous. So that's correct. So I use sodium metabisulfite. I think, I don't know how you pronounce it correctly, but that's what I use. And I also use coppers to drop my gold out. So they're essentially are all the chemicals that I use. Mainly I use some borax when I'm melting the gold, but they're the main group of chemicals. Now, if I was making my own nitric acid, you will need a nitrate salt. So I use sodium nitrate. And again, a little tip there, guys, always write the name every so often, because if you've just stuff lying around, as you can see, the label has started to fade away. So write what's on it. If you have stuff that you're putting into glassware that you don't have a label on, put a label on it so that you know what's in it. Because when you're mixing these chemicals, mixing wrong chemicals or mixing the wrong solutions can have a really bad effect. So I'm going to have a quick look through the chat here and just see if anyone has any questions. Now, if you're watching this and it's a rewatch, sorry, that you won't be able to, I won't be able to answer you directly. The smartest people using internet to learn and over stream to be continued. Let me just have a go. No video this week or so Ian Matthews, a few people coming in there. I will talk to everyone afterwards. Shark Scrappers in, Cruiser Markets in, American's favorite hoarder. I will be putting the link out, guys. So if anyone has any questions or anything they want to say about the gold recovery or any point they want to bring up now, is your chance. Another essential thing, coffee filters. Coffee filters, guys, for when you're filtering your solutions. I just use this one. It's quite a large coffee filter, size 4. I use bleached and unbleached coffee filters, whatever is on offer when I go to get when I need to get filters. Whichever ones have the best price, I use them. Coffee filters, essential again for when you're filtering out your solutions and that. And probably the last point I want to make on it, coppers is known as ferrous sulfide as well. Yeah, so there you go. So if anyone is looking for that, coppers, again, you will find it in, usually you'll find it in garden centers, sell it, because again, it's used for getting rid of moss on lawns. People will use that to get rid of the moss off their lawns. So you will find it under them names as electronic scrapper, as just said there. That's where you will find it. But And the last thing I want to mention for this part of the video, and then I'll be putting the link out and we'll be going back to normal. And people can ask questions and we can try and see what, if people have any questions they want answered or anything like that, is what you do with your solutions afterwards, guys. So a big no-no, and this is something I will say it over and over and over again. Do not tip your solutions down your drains. Do not tip your solutions down, because people go, oh well, sure, it's only drain acid. It says it can be tipped down your drains. It says it's for cleaning drains. It's for cleaning toilets. That's the material in here. Your solution will contain copper if you haven't got rid of the copper. Will contain aluminium. Will contain cadmium. Will contain well, you might have some silver if you haven't got your silver back out of it. So you're going to contain a lot of metals, heavy metals that you don't want getting into your drinking water, into the land, into the drains, into the drinking water eventually. So do not pour out your solutions without getting rid of the heavy metals out of it. So one of the easiest things to get out of it is going to be your copper straight away, because again, copper has a value. It's worth money. So definitely get your copper back. So once you've got your gold, your silver, your platinums, whatever you're after in that side with the precious metal, once you've got them out, then you're still left with your coppers that you want to get back out. So you want to get your copper out. So that's one of the easiest things to get out. Drop some iron into your solution. The iron will replace the copper in the solution. The copper will drop out as solids, and then you have you can deal with that copper afterwards and reprocess it. So then you end up with your copper. After that, you can neutralize your solutions. I always bring my solutions to the local council, essentially. So every so often, the local council will do a hazardous waste day. Now, it does cost money to get rid of it. They will ask you what's in it. So you will have to tell them honestly. Just say it's there's hydrochloric acid, there's nitric acid, and there's possibly copper, possibly iron, and other chemicals in there. So they know what area it has to go to then and how it has to be dealt with afterwards. So it does cost me to do it. I know people that will, Richard Hubbard, for instance, he will neutralize his down, use the baking soda, do all that, and then it's essentially water at the end. So you can do all that process as long as you know what you're doing. Don't just neutralize it with baking soda at the very start and go, oh, that's it, everything's out of it, pour it down the drain. No, everything is not out of it. Until you've got your copper out and your metals out, it still contains metals in there, heavy metals, which you don't want getting into the drinking water. So that's your beginner's guide, really, to getting starting your gold recovery journey at home. So from your phones or your laptops, your computers, your routers, everything like that, to when you finish up with your piece of gold, you're going to need to start. They're the basic tips. Of course, there's other stuff you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn about how much of each acid goes in and stuff like that. How to neutralize acids when you're in your solutions to drop your gold out, pH levels, stuff like that. But the basic stuff you're going to need to get going, and the basic acids and basic tips, they're the basics. Again, watch a lot of the videos I've done. I go a bit more in depth in each video that I've done on what I'm doing, so that might be a bit more of a help. So guys, I enjoyed this little bit of a talk. I hope you did. And again, if anyone has any tips that they want to talk about, or any tips in the chat, we will talk about them now. We'll go through the chat and see what people are saying. We'll welcome everyone in that was in. But if you're just in for this part of the video, thanks for watching, and give it a thumbs up as well, if you don't mind. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you just stumbled across this video. I'm going to put the link in now, and we'll go back to normal viewing. So going forward, guys, if anyone wants to a topic discussed about gold recovery or stuff like that, please let us know, and we'll try and do it. So I've put the link in, and anyone that wants to come up now can come up. Let me go back to the basic chat, and we'll see what people are saying. Now I'm going to go right back to the very beginning and welcome in everyone that was in. So we're back to normal viewing. hit the link if you want to come up. Ron Shoot, welcome in. Anfield, Lee, welcome in. Leanne, welcome in. HH Recycling, welcome in. Electronic Scrapper, the one who was. Everyday Solars, welcome in. Mike's Meltdown, welcome in. Paul Frost, welcome in. Jeanette Peckering, welcome in. Go down. HH Recycling, I already said hi. Cruiser Mac, Weber. Let me bring up the Shark Scrapper. Welcome up, Shark Scrapper. Sorry for keeping you down longer than usual, but I'm just trying out I'm just trying out a new thing on the channel. So I used to have someone up for 30 minutes talking about their channels and what's going on in the scrap world. So now I've decided just to do this instead. Maybe do 20 minutes, 15 minutes, might be 10 minutes some weeks. It's just a little bit of whatever and if people want a topic discussed, we can always discuss that topic with them as well. Richard Hubbard, welcome in. Oh, Matthews, welcome in.
Good evening.
William, welcome in. I want to say hi to a few more people first. Richard Hubbard, Electronic Scrapper, Cruiser Mac, Simon, welcome in. Let me go down in case I missed anyone. I don't want to Cruiser Mac, Ed Weber, Mark, welcome in. Doing the roll call here.
Hey, Irish, I think you missed somebody.
Who did I miss?
I don't know. I just think you missed somebody.
Oh. If I missed anyone, please put your name back in. Scrapping Together, welcome in. Kieran, welcome in. And
why do the Irish have names that you can't pronounce? I don't mean the last names. The last names are real, aren't they? O'Neill, that's it. O'Neill, and then it's the first names, just syllables thrown together.
So you mean you couldn't pronounce that, Kieran?
Kieran.
So welcome in, Kieran, anyhow. So guys, anyone want to talk about anything in particular? Off you go.
Yes. Why can't you use your waste products from your gold recovery, assuming you have some, driveway or paveway flags, as weed killer in between your cracks?
Well, again, you don't want it to go into your water systems, Ian, because then if the rain comes, washes all that stuff down, and it ends up in the water systems. And say you're someone that isn't connected to the proper water treatment plants, and you're someone that has your own well.
Right. I forgot you're in Southern Ireland, don't you?
We're connected. I said, shut up, you ignoramus. I was saying I'm connected to the water system, but I know there's loads of people doing this gold recovery that aren't connected to water systems, and they have their own wells. And then all of a sudden, people in their house are getting sick, and they're going, "Oh, I wonder why they're getting sick." Well, maybe it's because of the stuff you're pouring out on your land that's getting washed down into your well that you're drinking out later on because you don't have a proper water treatment. That's why you don't.
Big companies have been doing this for hundreds of years.
And
what you're going to do is not going to affect anybody until you're long dead.
Well, it might affect your own family if you're pouring it down your own well.
That's a very responsible position to take, Ian. It's not going to affect me, but 2 generations from now, they can have 3 arms. I don't care.
And
because somebody else did it 100 years ago, I want to keep doing it? Come on, man.
This is America talking. I've been watching some of those places. Oh, my God. The stuff that they've done it. But I suppose England's as bad in the Industrial Revolution.
Well, every country has been guilty.
Yeah, would you like to think we've come along in our own attitudes ourselves, personally, that you think, well, you know what, I better not pour this down the drain because, you know what, I might be poisoning the neighbour or I might be poisoning myself. Or we'd say, for instance, your grandchild growing up, Ian. Your grandchild, what's about the future for her? Because granddad decided he wanted to pour this down the drain. My drinking water is not safe now.
Well, I've got to be quite honest here. My grandchild, right? seeing that my wife, parents are Irish, grandparents are Irish. Apparently, we can get an Irish passport. So we're going to get dual citizen and then send her off to Ireland. There you go. To Europe. There you go.
Well, I want to pick up an American's favorite hoarder here. American favorite hoarder goes, all rubbish, everything came from the earth and everything returns to the earth. Okay, if that's the case, American's favorite hoarder, why don't you go out now, take a big lump of coal and just eat it? It'll get back to the earth. You know, that's the attitude that I don't agree with. Because just because everything gets back to the earth, your body, the earth might be able to deal with certain stuff. But
I think I'm coming from a different point of view, in that you can go to your garden centre and you can buy chemicals to pour on your ground that are bad, and that's legal.
Yeah.
Right now, I use a chemical from work, potassium hydroxide. I've been told, I've done research, that's a major component of weed killer. The other bits are just like degreasers, so it'll get into these plants' cellular structure. So if you're going to be pouring potassium hydroxide onto the ground, what's the difference? And you've got sulfuric acid rain. You know, there's plenty of...
Ian, just because someone wants to, I'm just saying, if you want to go out and put weed killer down your lawn and put weed killer down your drains, doesn't mean everyone else has to do it.
I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying
it's fair, yes.
At the quantities that you're doing, is it...
Well, okay, fair enough.
Bad?
Some farmer putting out pesticide might be doing 10 times the damage, 100 times the damage than what I'm doing. But I like to be a little bit responsibility that I am not adding to the problem that's there.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it. That I'm not adding to it. Look at it again. If someone wants to go out and pour down their drains, nothing I can do or nothing I can say.
So you've taken all these heavy metals out that would have gone to the landfill.
Yes.
Which is the same as like carbon neutral, right? So you burn a load of carbon, but you plant a couple of trees. One plays up, one balances the other. So you've taken all the heavy metals out of the gone into landfill. Yeah, and in that much of topsoil, you've put a gallon of chemicals that I'm not saying are bad. They're not bad, are they? They're not really bad. Like I say, you've got sulfuric acid rain. So I understand your ethos. I'm just saying your environmental impact is very, very minimal.
Yeah, but if everyone in
one
the world
person,
thinks that,
but there are millions of people, and if those millions of people all have a little bit of impact, then there's a huge impact.
Yeah,
your justification for irresponsible behavior are a big part of the problems that we deal with.
Well, Ian, you just said they're all in India. That's actually a real problem because
I've seen China it. That is terrible what they do in India.
Let me finish here.
Sorry.
Anything that they do in China comes over to the U.S. on the air currents.
Sorry?
I said anything they do in China, for example, comes over to the U.S. on air currents. Anything we do comes to England on the air currents.
I'm aware, and it goes into Antarctica and stuff like that. There's pristine areas of the world which are being damaged by microplastics, etc., etc.
Yeah, look at again. This always comes back to: will I make a difference? Will one person make a difference? And again, I've had this argument with people as well about the greenhouse effect and the warming and the climate change. And I'm getting someone's feedback off someone's speaker. I'm not sure where.
I'll be quite honest. I was just playing the devil's advocate there. You know, I think
it's you. Hold on, I want to see who's speaking. I think it's Williams. Give me a second. I'm just going to check something here. Hello. Hello. Yeah. William, have you another speaker on there or something? Have you?
Yeah, I have a thing. I was running the granulator.
All right. Okay. No. I thought I could hear feedback. That's all. So have you got your granulator there now? We'll come back to this discussion in a minute. Now that I heard the granulator, have you got the granulator running?
No, I shut it off when I joined the chat.
No. Can we see it? Can you show us the granulator?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I want. When you said you had that running, I want to see what it looks like. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
nice. Turn on and run it for a little and show you.
Big machine.
So that's the new granulator. It finally arrived.
No. This is my old one. The new one's still in the box outside. I got swamped in the last weekend with events, and I mean, this is what I walked into.
Okay.
So the first step is processing what you see in front of me. Then I'm going to put the granulator in the far corner, and then I'll have everything set up. It's going to take about a month, so I just have it sitting outside in the box still.
Okay.
I'm working on the copper side of things. And just
hey, what's a month? That's been the 6 months. What's a month?
Ian, you do not even want to get started about complaining about other people having stuff that they haven't touched in a while.
No,
as I said, I was just playing devil advocate there.
I know, Ian. I was going to bring up this thing as well, and I have this, and when I sat it down and thought about it, I said, you know what, the person is right. This person brought up about we were on about electric cars and diesel cars, and how we should be all changing to electric cars. And this person made a point, and he said, how much carbon has been released into the air by the tanks that are out in Ukraine and Russia that are going up and down all day, shooting at each other, missiles being shot over, airplanes flying over. One of them airplanes put out as much carbon as, he said, 1,000 cars in a year, in one day. So are we ever going to get on top of this while this is happening elsewhere in the world? So he did make a good point, and I did think about it for a while. And I was thinking, yeah, that's true. We're here worrying about our diesel car and should we change to electric cars? And then in another part of the world, there's so much carbon being let off now because of a conflict that how much damage has that carbon done? Can we ever rectify it by just changing our cars from diesel to electric? It's as Shark said, it's easy to find excuses. So you still do your bit and you hope that other people do their bits and it carries on. But sometimes it can be disheartening when people put that point here to say, well, one tank puts out as much carbon as 1,000 cars in a year in a week in Ukraine, and how many tanks are going up and down there in Ukraine every day?
There's a counter argument to that, I guess. Suppose this one tank, just for example, kills 10 people. Those 10 people may produce over the lifetime more carbon than that tank puts out in a day. So therefore, you've a net gain.
You have the weirdest way of calculating.
Look at Shark. So I'm sorry, Shark.
Well, it does bring up another argument in that where does one person's right end and the next person's right begin?
That's when you get married.
No.
I know that one. I know the answer to that one.
Oh my
exactly God. When you stand in front of that man and you say, I do. That's when you're right, then. Are you right, Shark?
Well, ain't that true?
Anyhow, let's get back out of that, because Ian brought us down that rabbit hole. Let's get out of it. Let's get out of that rabbit hole and let's get to the rabbit hole that is Ian's shed. Ian?
Well, I feel that after we're in the 4th month of semi-retirement, and I feel as though I'm at the same point as I was when I first started.
Maybe if you cleared your shed, imagine how much carbon we could save on that.
I did so well in the first 2 months, and then the second 2 months, I had such an input of scrap. It's well set me back. But in my mental balancing, we're about level. So next week, from tomorrow, I think we start going downwards, as long as nothing else comes in.
As Cruiser Max said, are you saying 2 wongs don't make a white? Cruiser.
Oh.
So, Ian, how much stuff did you pick up this week? Oh, more important question, Ian.
Nothing.
No, hold on a second, right? You brought in your copper to sell it, yes?
I've sold it, yes.
And what is copper prices today?
I've no idea.
Oh, you haven't found out what you
I don't want to know. Yeah, it's like you don't need to know, do you? It's like buyer's guilt. You go to a shop, you buy something, and then a couple of days after you start looking how much as it was anywhere else. Was it cheaper? I got the price I always set. I've got above the price I always said I would sell at. So
what did you sell at?
I got £7.16 a kilogram.
So 7.16. That's a good price in pounds. That's equivalent to €7.30, I'd say.
Right. So I don't know if it went up to 7.20, 7.30, 7.40, £8. I have no idea. I'll find out tomorrow because I will ring up and say, are we still high? But as a hobbyist scrapper,
yes,
I weighed in about 112 kilogram.
Okay.
Well, about exactly 112 kilogram.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it goes up 10 pence, I might lose 11. I would have gained another 11 quid.
Yeah, but
if it had dropped 10 pence, I wouldn't have gained that 11 quid.
Yeah.
But I had in my head, when it gets to £7, that's where I'm weighing in. And I've not done the video. I filmed it, but I haven't yet edited and uploaded it. But that was the point, was, right, I've reached my target. I kept a little bit back, because of shark here. I've kept a little bit back, probably about another 120 quid's worth. It's just in case it goes up to 8 quid, 9 quid. Everyone tells me it's going to go mad. I have kept a little bit back, but I doubt it.
Well, Cruiser Mac took his copper in on Thursday, so that meant he was gone he's only back now, because doesn't he have to go for 3 days to bring his copper up to somewhere and bring it back again?
Yeah, it takes him 3 days to get it here.
Yeah, that's it. It takes him 3 days. He's only back. So yes, but he did say the copper prices crashed on Friday. So copper crashed on Friday. So he's saying copper came down a bit.
You're all right then.
Hey, sure.
What's that, shows? I missed what you were showing there. Oh, neodymium magnets. Shark, you know how you were in your discussion, you said there was companies that recycle the neodymium and stuff like that. Didn't you?
Say again?
You were saying there's companies in America that deal with the neodymium magnets.
Yeah.
Do they buy them?
I don't know yet. I had not gotten a response in time for my live stream, so I don't know if they are buying from consumers or if it's only on an industrial scale, or if they're even, fully operational for buying yet.
And does Board Sort buy neodymium magnets? No.
Well, they buy them because they're in hard drives.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying there's no category for neodymium magnets in Board Sort.
Not that I've seen, but let me check while we're.
Yeah. No, it'll be Partners to welcome in. Do you know who I seen in there and I haven't seen in a while? Truck Bat. Dan, welcome back. Good to see you. And no, there was no bloopers, we asked. Scrappy Together says, all of my copper got tucked in, so I'm starting over. Okay. The Mac is saying it's uphill both ways to the scrapyard for him.
And he has to do it barefoot in the snow.
And barefoot in the snow, just like when you were going to school. I did say hi to Partners, didn't I?
Hi, Perky.
What Paul is saying, Richard sells his hard drive magnets as shred. They go in a shred when he's getting rid of shred.
I believe there is a separate category for magnets in the scrapyard. I've been told. I have been told, but it's like everything else.
It would be great. Okay, Americans favorite horror. We keep politics out of the chat. So if you're going to continue on with politics and stuff like that, I will have to give you a timeout. No politics in the scrap chat. So let's keep it out of that. We keep our scrap chat related. The only time politics come into it is if there's something like we say shark so often where a policy might impact on scrap prices. That's when we bring politics into it, but not other than that. Where did my girlfriend?
Oh, loafer! That's terrible.
Mad, it was in a. Oh,
shocking!
So, Irish.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw the comments from Simon during my stream, but apparently he has a yard that is very sophisticated and is buying rare earths.
Okay.
So I thought that was fantastic.
That's something that I think is going to happen, Shark. I think you're going to see scrapyards getting more into it because it's going to be something that's going to be used a lot more and it's going to be recycled a lot more. So scrapyards will get into that because it's a revenue stream. Let's just say it's a revenue stream. So again, if you're taking a hard drive apart and if they can recycle the neodymium from them, then of course scrapyards are going to say, well, okay, we're going to start buying the neodymium because we have a guy that own these big factories that are doing it and they're buying it off. They'll buy it off us and they'll give us a better price because it's already separated from the hard drives. So you'll see categories appear like neodymium magnets, and you may see categories appearing on it. I do think that's definitely coming down the road.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, and I would like to see it a bit more. I mean, up here in the mountains, I'm lucky if they buy anything. It's our two scrap yards here in this area are pretty basic in the way they're the old heavy metal kind of scrapyard, classic scrapyard kind of look and feel. And so that's why they're willing to sell a lot of their electronic scrap to me, because they just historically don't want to deal with it. So, boy, I tell you what, it'd be interesting if I have to become the local guy that buys the rare earths and then sells it on to someone.
Yeah, well, hey, if it's a revenue stream that you can work, and again, it's not going to take up a lot of space. Neodymium magnets, it's not like they're big massive these from hard drives, so it's not like you're going to need a big massive warehouse to.
I can see it being a very attractive market.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, come on!
And the chat.
Attractive. Come on, get with it. Get with it.
The key is finding a niche.
It's not repulsive.
Hold on. Watch what was saying. William, what were you about to say?
Me?
Yeah.
He was laughing at my
finding a niche. That's all.
That was me.
Oh, who was saying it? Sorry. Who was saying? Mike, what were you saying?
I was laughing at Ian's bad joke.
Yeah.
By the way, they can be attractive and they can also be repulsive. Depends on which way you put them.
I actually thought I was going to get an educated person here tonight saying something.
That market, it could either go north or it could go south.
Oh,
Pulls apart.
people buy magnets on eBay. My God, yes, they do definitely. That could be a source of. Well, I know people that buy them for crafts and stuff like that. A lot of people will use it in crafting, and they use the magnets in crafting.
So, Shark, did you use my health and safety picture?
Did you not watch
it up on the live stream?
I didn't watch it tonight, me. I've only just... No, I haven't. Not tonight.
Then you're just going to have to watch the replay and find out.
I will have to. But how you can do it with a screwdriver bit, I've no idea.
If anyone could do it, you can do it.
I honestly thought I'd rip my nail off. It was that bad.
Well, Mike's Meltdown made a good point in the chat. He was saying, I hope that Ian has the sense to realise when he's working with a lathe not to be using gloves like that.
Well, I'll be honest, I've done that once. many years ago. So I had a wood lathe, and I was trying to find a quick way of stripping wire rather than using a knife. I had a long wire. So I got this long tube, put it in the lathe, and I bought off someone, really cheap, a big long reamer. And I put that reamer in, and I got it, and you could put the cable in, and you could pull it through, and it just reamed the top layer off. And it was running. I had my glove on because it was sharp, and I reached over, and it grabbed it. I honestly thought it had ripped my hand off. And I remember now, I can still feel it. I stood there with my glove on, and I was waiting for the blood to drip out. It felt that bad. I looked off, and I was very, very lucky. But I think you do that once, you never do something like that again.
Yeah, you were.
The safety health.
Yeah,
it was one of those moments where I felt sick once I'd done it.
So you learned from that never to do that one again.
Yeah.
When you do something like that, you realize how bad it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, it was a bit of a toy lathe, I would have probably, once it had gone around a couple of times, it would have stalled the motor. But I've seen plenty on YouTube where they've had big lathes and it's taken them in and wrapped them round.
Yeah, I've seen people's hands get caught on like PTO shafts on tractors and rip their arm clean off them.
I've never learned with an angle grinder though. I still cut myself now and again.
You still haven't learned the only way you're going to learn is when there's an actual blade embedded in your head.
If he's lucky.
I've got
with the angle grinders.
I've got girds. I've got girds on my grinders.
Yeah, like some people I can think of who use them. Grinders without guards.
His name's Michael. His name's Michael Murphy.
Don't blame all of us now.
No, I wasn't thinking of him.
Oh.
Somebody else are using grinders without guards.
E. Matthews is notorious for it.
I used to. I will admit, I used to be.
Yeah. He who cuts grass.
I cut grass.
He who cuts grass.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim Farmer. Grass cutter.
Oh, yeah.
So,
how's Tim doing? I don't come up on the grass cutting channels anymore, and so I haven't seen Tim.
Yeah, Tim just be on Jeanette Pickering's.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. By the way, welcome in Terry and welcome in Christopher.
Hey, hello, Terry.
And who else? Who else is there that came in? Terry. I see someone. Well, Park Nest is here on the panel now. Loafer, I said hi to. Anyone else I missed? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys, at the bottom of the video.
Totally different subject.
Oh, here we go.
I sent Shirk a link about. So last Sunday we talked, and I said about a guy who had a massive channel explaining.
Oh yes.
You know, it was brilliant. You know, he was a scientist, a physician, electrician, and he put a video up saying, "I've closed my channel."
Yes.
Well, apparently the night before, he'd committed suicide.
Yeah.
But he was so clued up that he set his video to come up the day after saying I was closing the channel down. And then his brother came up to explain that his wife had died the year before. He'd never got over it. He himself was always in the fittest of health. And now he'd got something where he couldn't walk very far out of breath. So he must have decided what was the point. But the way he'd done a video and set it to be released the day after, scheduled it, I thought, I don't know if this is morbid. So from a guy who is so a scientist, so clued up in every aspect, I thought to myself, how would he kill himself?
Right. Well, for starting, we're not going to talk about that on here because that will bring YouTube down on us. So we're not going to talk about that. What I will mention is what I always say to people: if stuff is going on, we don't know what's going on in people's heads. We don't know how people are feeling. So always try and be a bit nice to each other if you can. I'd always say, because you don't know what's going on in someone else's life. That something you may say or you may do, maybe that tipping point. So I always say, try and have the banter, have a bit of fun. Always be there if someone wants to talk to you, because you don't know what's going on. And you know, that's my bit of advice.
Yeah, you never know what's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah. So again, go on.
I've spoken about it on my channel. I've spoken about it on my channel at least on one occasion that I actually suffered from depression also. It's not something that's always easy to talk about. And I will tell you right now that the people who suffer from it the most, you may never realize. Think about people like Robin Williams, who committed suicide a few years ago because he had depression. He was manic depressive. Nobody would have guessed that from his outward personality, because we are some of the best people at wearing masks. We don't want you to feel bad about us, so we have to make sure that you have no reason to feel bad about us. Or bad for us.
Yeah, you got a very good point there. And men traditionally have got to be strong and
bottle it up.
It was. I think it was Norwich Football Club. They've done a brilliant ad for depression and suicide and stuff like that. And it was two guys at a football match. Every coming, and it was showing them coming into the match, and one was all happy, and one was just like he was grumpy and whatever. He looked like he was depressed or whatever, and it showed it going on for weeks and weeks, and then eventually it showed the person that we thought was depressed getting into a seat and putting a scarf on the seat where his friends used to sit.
I've seen that advert.
That was the guy that was always joking at the match and always laughing and always seemed to be the happy guy. And it just showed that you think, oh, that person is happy, that person, everything is great in their life, but there's other stuff going on in their head. And I thought that was a brilliant ad. It was a brilliant ad. It did strike home that just because a guy in a pub, it might be the life of the party, when he goes home, he may just be suffering really bad with depression and stuff like that. So always try and I say it's not always easy to be nice to everyone you meet. Sometimes people might annoy you a lot, and you go, "Oh, this person is just so whatever, draining, or he's whatever." But just remember, there may be stuff going on in their life. So
I hate the fact that you laughed then. Over here, of course, in the UK, I don't know about over there, but we have a charity called Men in Sheds.
Yes.
And they actually, men get together in a place, not necessarily a shed, and they do simple like woodwork or lathe work or metalwork in a place. And it's a place for them to congregate and to talk about things.
Yeah, we have them over here, men's sheds as well. And they do woodworking and they do everything like that. And it's a brilliant thing for people. And it's not just for people who are feeling depressed that uses the men's sheds. It's for people who want to get out and just do other things and not just be sitting around the house all day when they get to retirement ages and stuff like that. But it was sad when I seen that from that guy with the channel that had his channel or whatever. And I do ask my condolences to his family, of course, and stuff like that. There's nothing you can say that's going to make it any easier for them or anything like that. It's always very sad for the family that are involved and stuff like that. But anyhow, look, we don't want to talk too much about it as in the subject of why he done it or whatever, because we don't know, as I say. We're only adding to maybe people's pain by talking about it for them, even though they may never see these videos. But I just don't like to where you don't know how people feel, on that subject.
So going back to scrap prices, and he said they're up, they're down. I didn't catch. I'll when I'm in bed instead of
gold broke the $4,000 barrier. So gold has gone past $4,000. So like that little piece of gold there now, Ian Matthews, that I'm holding in my hand is worth $1,750 if I was to sell it for its price of things.
Wow.
So just a piece of gold, about the size of my finger, baby finger, the tip of my baby finger.
So when I watch these people on YouTube and they get a bit of gravel from out of a dry stream bed and a few gold flakes, and I'm thinking, is that worth it? So yeah, I guess it is.
Well, if you have an ounce of them, it's worth $4,000.
Wow.
So like gold did break the barrier, 4,000. I remember talking a couple of years ago, and we were talking on here, and we were saying that I see that shark down there. I'll show it in a second. We were saying that the gold, would you sell your gold when it got to $2,000? And we remember talking about that, saying, oh, well, I might sell it if it got to $2,000. Now, like, it's like double that. And you're here thinking, oh, will I sell it now? Or will in 2 years' time, it could be $6,000. It's that, like, forever. Will I wait? It could be this because it went from 2 to 4. So what's going to stop it going from 4 to 6 in 2 years' time or 3 years?
The best bet is keep hold of it, make it bigger and bigger.
Yes.
Right, and until you can manage to make something like that, and send it to me.
I was waiting for you to say send it to you.
As somebody, as a good friend has done already, but I'd never part with it.
Well, the same as I would never part with this gold Rolex that I was given by a certain person. I would never part with this gold Rolex.
Not melting it down.
Hey, it doesn't matter how much gold goes up, Ian. I will never part with this for the value of the gold on it.
Not even after it turns your wrist blue?
Anyway, I'm going to show what Shark has here to show us. Boom. So is this something you're looking at buying, Shark?
Yeah, so I mentioned it in a couple of my videos, and a few people have asked, what I was talking about. So this is the idea. There's a couple of different manufacturers and varieties of this, but they're called pallet stackers. So it's like a pallet jack and a forklift had a baby. It will lift. In this case, I think 2,600 pounds or something like that, above 5 feet or so. They come in different height lifts, and you can move them around like a pallet jack. They don't take up as much room as a forklift. They're not going to have the capacity of a forklift. For an operation like mine, that's more than enough weight for me to move the pallets around and to be able to take them out when the truck shows up and lift them into the truck instead of paying the $80 to $100 liftgate fee. And these things, they're not cheap. I mean, they're like $8,000. You can see the price over there off to the side for one of these models. So they range from $7,000 to $9,000 or so new. So of course I'm busy looking on the used markets and the auction sites and stuff like that.
Yeah, and as much as I said there, so I see them in the auctions all the time over here. So like that's
Yeah.
You can get probably a good deal on them in the auction sites.
I just, I know there were some folks that were scratching their head asking what it was I'd been talking about.
Right. They're not going to be lead acid.
That could be a good compromise solution.
Yeah, they're not going to be lead acid batteries, that is it? It's going to be lithium ion?
Yeah, these I think are lithium ion.
You have to switch it. I can't do anything there.
Lithium ion.
Go ahead and get the nuclear reactor ones. Come on, man.
Very nice junk.
Very nice junk. Welcome to you.
If you do get one, Shirk, I've got a spare battery for it.
Ian, why have you a big lithium ion battery like that in your shed? Are you trying to burn it down?
Well, if he burns it down, that means he doesn't have to clean it out.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. You can sweep it all up and bring it to the scrapyard as it is in dust.
He's hoping it will all melt into one big blob.
Oh,
Believe
it or not, to buy that battery new will cost you around £400.
Oh yeah, batteries are expensive to buy. Nice junk. It's nice junk in Canada. He is, isn't he? I think he is. It's nice. He is. If he is in Canada, happy Thanksgiving Day. We discovered that over on Sharks Live as well. It's Canadian Thanksgiving Day coming up.
I'm just laughing at
100,000 for a liftgate service.
It's Canadian.
$100. Oh yeah. So every time, he says, Grandpa Kevin is saying every time you have to get that extra service, it costs $100. So the forklift thing will pay for itself in the end anyhow if you're getting a lot of that sort of stuff, as well as the other bits and pieces it does for you.
Yeah. Plus, I won't have to climb up in the back of the Sharkmobile to empty the pallets. I can get them out of the Sharkmobile, set them down on the ground, and not be perched precariously on the sides of the truck.
You're not getting any younger, are you, Shark? You're not getting any younger.
No, I'm not.
There you go.
My doctor keeps reminding me of that.
And it's also a tax write-off.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of investments are it would probably go in the accelerated amortization schedule, but I let my accountant worry about that crap. I just give him the receipts.
Well, hey, do you know what we're going to do now? We're going to ask everyone what their plan is for the week, because it's gone nearly that time to finish up. So, Shark Scrapper, you get the honor. What's your plan for the week? You started off.
It's going to put Christmas decorations up.
Actually, it is time to start moving Christmas decorations to the house.
It's October. We've not even had Halloween.
So there's some advanced staging that needs to happen. So yeah, that's on the personal side. On the business side, I've got a couple of pickups that need to be done. I've got a pallet that's getting shipped out on Monday, and another one that I'm starting to load up. So I'm hoping that I'll get a couple of pickups in this week that will help me top off the pallet that I'm working on now, so I can get that one out as well. And some reorganizing in the shark cage that I want to start staging out in preparation for gold recovery and melting operations.
Okay. Ian Matthews, plan for the week?
Nothing. Because every time I say the scrap gods, make sure I fill me every space I've made. I'm doing nothing. I ain't tempting the scrap gods.
So your plan is not to do any clearing out in the shed, because you're afraid that if you say you're going to clear something out in the shed, the scrap gods are going to give you a load of
So
stuff.
I was halfway through a big video, and then I got lots of big scrap floor, so I go back to that. So I should have been able to finish off that 2,000 amp switch. But apart from that, no. I'm driving with blinkers on.
Maybe your wife shouldn't let you out at all. Just keep you inside, and that way, then you don't. If you don't leave at all, you can't come back with them. You know.
Right.
Okay. Well, Park Nest, what's your plan?
Right, well, I'm working through the week as usual, and at weekend I'll be going over to Static Caravan, and I've got a video coming out on Friday. It'll be with this car changing side repeaters in door mirrors.
Okay. Anything else? Or is that it?
No, that's it. There's a couple of jobs I need to do on Volvo XC90. I'll see if I can get them done.
Okay.
Well, no, that's it.
All right. Well, Mike's Meltdown, what's your plan for the week?
Just breaking down more stuff here in the shop, clearing room, hopefully getting my copper separator put together, the sluice. So I bought everything to do it. I just got to actually make the room and build it.
Okay. So you're on the building phase of your sluice, are you? Or have you just gathered the materials?
I've gathered the materials. I've got the design already for it. I've just got to start putting it together.
Okay. Well, then, for me, I should have a video out this week. It's just a teardown video. I think I have a teardown video of a all-in-one Apple Mac computer thing. So I have that to coming out hopefully this week when it's finished. And then again, we should be live next Sunday. So if anyone has anything they want us to talk about before or during the live, let me know. If not, I will decide what the topic is as usual then. But if someone wants to let me know of a topic they want to talk about, just let us know by sending me an email or leave it in the comments on this video, and we'll see if it's something we can make happen. I'm putting the link in for Everyday Solars. As Solar said there, reminder, give the thumbs up if you haven't already. If you're rewatching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And till next Sunday, stay safe. And as Ralph Morrick would say, scrap you all later. So I'm putting the link in first. So the link should be in there for Everyday Solars. And scrap you all later, guys.
Nice to see you all.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.